Hello everyone. Today I am going to discuss the molecular orbital picture of pyridine, pyrazole, oxazole and then thiazole. Okay. Now let us see the first molecule, that is pyridine. Okay. This is the molecular formula or the structural formula of pyridine. Okay. So it has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 carbon atoms and 1 nitrogen atom. Alright. So each atom undergoes sp2 hybridizations. Okay. Therefore it has got 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals. Alright. Now carbon atom, suppose this is the carbon atom and this carbon atom you consider. So this is the sp2 hybridized orbital. Alright. This will overlap with the sp2 hybridized orbital of this neighboring carbon atom, forming sigma bond. Okay. Similarly, this carbon atom has got this sp2 hybridized orbital. This will overlap with the sp2 hybridized orbital of nitrogen atom, forming sigma bond. Okay. So, but one is left out here. That sp2 hybridized orbital overlaps axially with the 1s orbital of hydrogen atom, forming sigma bonds. Okay. So each atom has got 3 sigma bonds, or in other words, because axial overlapping taking place. Okay. Carbon atom, you can see here, for this carbon atom this is the hydrogen atom overlapping, axial overlapping. For this carbon atom, axial overlapping with the 1s orbital hydrogen atom. For this carbon atom, this is axial overlapping. Similarly, neighboring atoms also, that is axial overlapping, that results in sigma bond. Okay. All the sigma bonds lie in one plane. Okay. Even nitrogen atom has got axial here, okay, overlapping, because it also undergoes sp2 hybridization. Alright. But in the case of nitrogen atom, other than sigma bond, there is here, okay, axial overlapping, there is one more orbital, sp2 hybridized orbital is present, which has got a lone pair of electrons. Okay. Lone pair of electrons are present over here. Okay. Now there is one unhybridized p orbital. Each atom contains one unhybridized p orbital. You can see here, this carbon atom, this is the unhybridized p orbital. Okay. For this carbon atom, this is the unhybridized p orbital. For this is the unhybridized p orbital, unhybridized p orbital. Okay. And for this carbon atom, this is the unhybridized p orbital. So all these carbon atoms contains one p orbital, contain one electron. Okay. Similarly, this nitrogen atom also contains unhybridized p orbital containing one electron. Okay. When you add all this, you will find that there are 6 pi electrons. Okay. Because this is overlapping, all the p orbitals overlap sideways. You can see here. Okay. This is the sideways overlap of p orbitals. One half of the pi molecular orbital lies above the plane, one below the plane. Okay. Altogether the 6 pi electrons are present. Okay. Now how to check whether it obeys Huckel's rule or whether it is aromatic or not. Okay. In case any compound obeys Huckel's rule, then that is aromatic compound. Okay. Now here there are 6 pi electrons are present, therefore substitute n equal to 1 in Huckel's rule. So 4 into 1 plus 2 is 6. So it satisfies what? Huckel's rule. Therefore this compound is one aromatic compound. Okay. Now let us see the next compound. Now molecular orbital picture of, okay, pyrazole. Now pyrazole contains 2 nitrogen atoms. Okay, you can see here 2 nitrogen atoms are present and 3 carbon atoms are present. Okay. Here also it undergoes one sp2 hybridization. Alright. Now sp2 hybridization means it has got 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals. Okay. So each carbon atom has got 3, even nitrogen atom has got 3, because it also undergoes one sp2 hybridization. Okay. So 2 of these sp2 hybridized orbitals of each atom, okay, overlaps axially, forming sigma bond. You can see here one sigma bond, one sigma bond, and one sigma bond with the 1s orbital of hydrogen atom. Okay. So carbon has got overlapping with 1s orbital also here, so sigma bond. Similarly, nitrogen atom also has got one sp2 hybridized orbital. It also overlaps with the hydrogen atom, okay, forming one sigma bond. Alright. So here also there is axial overlap between 2 nitrogen atoms. sp2 hybridized orbitals of 2 nitrogen atoms overlap axially, forming sigma bonds. Okay. All these sigma bonds lie in one plane. Alright. Now what about unhybridized p orbital? And this is the unhybridized p orbital, okay, of this carbon atom. Unhybridized p orbital of this carbon atom, unhybridized p orbital of this carbon atom, similarly unhybridized p of this carbon atom. Okay. Now carbon atom unhybridized p orbital contain 1 electron each. You can see here 1, 1, 1, 3 electrons. Okay. Even this nitrogen atom has got 1 electron, okay, p orbital, whereas this nitrogen atom has got 2 electrons in the p orbital. Okay. So these p orbitals will overlap sideways. You can see here sideways overlapping taking place. Okay. So one half of the pi molecular orbital will be above the plane of sigma bond, other half below the plane. Okay. Now what about aromatic property? Okay, whether it obeys Hucke's rule or not. So when you substitute n equal to 1, okay, 4 into 1 plus 2, that means 6 pi electrons. When you count here also you will get 6 pi electrons. When you substitute in the formula also you will get 6 pi electrons. That means it obeys one Hucke's rule. Okay, so pyrazole compound is one aromatic compound. Okay. Now let us see the next molecule, oxazole. Okay. Now you can see here oxazole's molecular orbital picture. Okay. Oxazole has got 3 carbon atoms. Okay, these are the 3 carbon atoms, and then 1 oxygen atom over here. Okay, and the third position 1 nitrogen atom instead of carbon. Okay. So this is nitrogen, this is oxygen. That's only the difference between one oxazole and, okay, and then which compound, the other pyrazole compound. All right. So in pyrazole you have 2 nitrogen atom, here 1 nitrogen atom and 1 oxygen atom in oxazole. All right. Now here also the atom undergoes one sp2 hybridization. Okay, each atom undergoes sp2 hybridization. Therefore, how many sp2 hybridized orbitals are present? 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals are present. Okay. Now these will overlap axially. Okay. For example, this carbon atom sp2 hybridized orbital overlap axially with this sp2 of this nitrogen. Okay, forming one sigma bond. Similarly, this carbon has got sp2 hybridized orbital overlaps with the sp2 of this carbon atom axially with forming one sigma bond. Okay. Now this carbon atom has got sp2 hybridized orbital, okay, overlaps axially with this oxygen atom sp2 hybridized orbital forming sigma bond. All right. And then this carbon atom and then this oxygen atom sp2 overlap axially forming sigma bond. Okay. All these sigma bonds lie in one plane. Okay. Axial overlapping lie in orbitals, okay, lie in one plane, that is, okay. So these bonds are sigma bonds. Now what about unhybridized orbital? So each atom contains unhybridized p orbital also. See, nitrogen atom has got one unhybridized p orbital. This carbon atom, this is the unhybridized p orbital. Okay. So this carbon atom unhybridized p orbital. This oxygen atom unhybridized p orbital. This carbon atom has got unhybridized p orbital. Okay. Now except this oxygen atom, rest all the atoms has got 1 electron each. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1 electron each, and this oxygen atom has got 2 electrons. Okay, 2 electrons means there are total how many electrons? 6 electrons, 6 pi electrons. Okay. So this results in what? Pi molecular orbital. So because sideways overlapping will take place, resulting in pi molecular orbital. Okay, one half of the pi molecular orbital lies above the plane and one half below the plane of the molecule. Okay. Now let us see whether it satisfies Hucke's rule or not. Substitute n equal to 1. Okay, you will get 4n plus 2 is equal to 6 pi. Okay, when you count here also you will get 6 pi. Correct. That means what? The oxazole molecule is one obeys Hucke's rule, that means it is an aromatic compound. Okay. So this is about molecular orbital picture of oxazole. Okay. Now let us see the next molecule, that is thiazole. Okay. Now what is here the difference between thiazole and oxazole? Thiazole contains in the place of oxygen sulfur. Okay, sulfur, that's all. Rest of the expression is same, only thing is instead of oxygen you have sulfur. Okay. Now how do you explain the molecular orbital picture of thiazole? Thiazole contains how many carbon atoms? 3 carbon atom. Where are those? 1, 2, 3. Okay. And 1 sulfur atom, okay, in the place of oxygen atom, and this as it is nitrogen atom. Okay. And all these atoms undergo which type of hybridization? sp2 hybridization. Okay. Therefore, how many sp2 hybridized orbitals are present? 3 sp2 hybridized orbitals are present. Okay. Where are those? Those are here. Okay. 1 sp2 overlap axially. This sp2 overlaps axially. Okay. And then this sp2 overlaps axially, alright, this axially, this also axially. Okay. Now, in the case of carbon atom, here we have one another sp2 hybridized orbital is there, okay, that will overlaps with the 1s orbital of hydrogen atom. Here also it will overlaps with the 1s orbital hydrogen atom forming sigma bond. This carbon atom sp2 hybridized orbital overlaps with the 1s orbital hydrogen forming sigma bond. Okay. Now, what about this nitrogen atom? It has got sp2 hybridized orbital containing what? Lone pair of electrons. So, there is no overlapping with the hydrogen atom. So, this contains lone pair of electrons. Okay. Now, this sulfur atom has got another sp2 here, over here you can see here, okay, inclined, little bit inclined. So, this is sp2 hybridized orbital containing what? Lone pair of electrons. Okay. So, this will not overlap with the 1s orbital of hydrogen atom. Okay. Now, what about the unhybridized p orbital? So, nitrogen atom, this is the unhybridized p orbital. Okay. For this carbon atom, this is the unhybridized p orbital. For this carbon atom, this is the unhybridized p orbital. Okay. And for this sulfur atom, this is the unhybridized p orbital. The nitrogen atom, carbon, okay, and then this carbon contain 1 electron each. So, p orbitals contain 1 electron each. Okay. So, for how many total? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Whereas sulfur atom unhybridized p orbital contains 2 electron each. Okay. That means 4 plus 2 is 6, right. So, it contains 6 pi electrons. Okay. So, one half of the pi molecular orbital overlaps above the plane of the sigma bond and other half lies below the plane of the sigma bond, you can see here. Okay. So, total there are 6 pi electrons. Okay. Now, how to check whether this compound is an aromatic compound or not? Substitute in the Haeckel's rule. Okay. What is Haeckel rule? 4n plus 2 pi electrons, it should contain 4n plus 2 pi electrons. Okay. Substitute n equal to 1. So, 4 into 1 plus 2 is 6, therefore, it contains, this molecule contains 6 pi electron, therefore, thiazole is also an aromatic compound. Okay. Now, let us see the aromatic, okay, properties of pyrazole, or let us compare the, okay, properties of pyrazole, oxazole and thiazole. Okay. Now, in pyrazole, oxazole and thiazole, the pyridine type nitrogen is not involved in the aromatic sextet. Okay, you have seen that pyridine type nitrogen, okay, is not involved in the formation of aromatic sextet. All right. Only the lone pair of electrons present in the unhybridized p orbital of nitrogen, oxygen, and then sulfur, okay, are involved in the formation of aromatic sextet. All right. Since oxygen is more electronegative, you have seen that oxygen is more electronegative compared to sulfur and other atoms, sulfur or nitrogen, okay, etc. So, delocalization of pi orbitals taking place as lesser delocalization, okay, compared to thiazole and pyrazole. Okay. The resonance energies of pyrazole, thiazole and oxazole, okay, are found to be 86.1 kilojoules per mole. Okay. So, I found that the resonance energies are in this order 86.1, 38.9 and then 34.1 kilojoules respectively. Okay. Hence, relative aromaticities are in the order pyrazole greater than thiazole greater than oxazole. All right. In the case of pyrazole, oxazole and thiazole, complete delocalization of pi electrons is restricted. Okay. Why it is restricted? Due to the presence of additional electronegative heteroatom. Okay. You have seen that there is additional electronegative heteroatom is present in these compounds. Okay. Therefore, delocalization of pi electrons is restricted. Hence, these compounds are less aromatic compared to furan, thiophene and pyrrole. All right. So, I will stop at this stage. Okay. Please go through all these slides. Any difficulty, please contact me. All right. Thank you.